Today I'm going to update the camera stand that I built because in certain positions it's just too flimsy and it tips over. So I added a very large steel rod in it, which of course is on the camera stand right now. So this is my jiggly image as I remove it. So this pretty hefty thing is going to be the stand on the stand itself, because it has pre-tapped thingies on it which will nicely rotate into on the base. And I just need to put a hole in here, put a tap on it so that I can have an arm that can work, so that I can create a camera stand that's more firm and doesn't tip over when I put my iPhone too far away from the center. So this is the rod I built, or the camera mount I built, and it has the large hefty rod attached to it right now. And I'm just going to replace that wooden stand and put in the big metal stand. Then I'm going to look at this piece here. I will take a piece of metal to replace that wooden arm, and then take this piece, and when I'm lucky this will come right out and I can put this directly onto the metal. So when I added the steel rod, I already drilled a hole to hold it, which gives me a nice guide for this nut here, or bolt, to go through and attach to the steel rod. So I'm going to drill that hole, and then I need to deepen that a little bit to make some room for the bolt head, and then stage one is complete. Laser. I have enough room here to sink this bolt into. So I managed to create a nice flush connection here on the bottom. The amount of wood that's left is pretty thin, but let's see how long it holds. I found this piece from an old IKEA kitchen cabinet, which is bent, so it's relatively stable. And I managed to get the phone holder apart. This is going to be too flimsy, so I'm going to add a little bit of wood on the inside here just to give it some rotation stability. And then let's see how we can add this to that. And of course we need to make a little hole here to tap this thing on, so we can use the existing hole of that as our pivot point. So I have drilled and tapped my hole with this nice tapper here, and my designated knob will nicely screw into here. But as you can see, when I screw this in, it is way too long to keep my thingy in place. So I marked with a Sharpie where I'm going to weld on a nut, which is then going to press the arm against the stand. So I've set my welding rope, and as you can see, I've set it on some pretty low settings, which is now 60 to 100 volts, and the wire feeding is at 3. And I think this is going to be hot anyway. So let's give it a try and see what comes out the other end. And here we have it. It's not nice, but for my welding skills, it's okay. If you have tips on this, please leave them in the comments. I cut my iron to length and I made a hole in it, but as I had suspected, it is wobbly. So I'm going to add something to reinforce this, probably a piece of wood. From this point here all the way up to here, so that I have more grip and more length for my screw to go through for my camera mount here, which works really nice. So let's get going. And here we have it. I added a nice piece of ply in here. This is attached, so this is firm. It's no longer wobbly. This works nice. Let's see what this looks like from above. It is still a little bit rotating on itself. Perhaps I can help that by doubling up the steel thing. See if that helps. So I have doubled up on the arm. I have bolted these very tiny things true and true. Let's see how she holds up now. Does it support the iPhone? This is the big question. It still is a little bit, this is straight, and when I let go, it just dunks down a little bit. However, I don't really mind. Let's see if I can do a top shot with this without that it's falling over. Yes, this is nice. Looks a lot nicer. Just need to figure out how to make this even more sturdy. Might need to go to full steel bar after all. Make sure that it doesn't flex this much. But that is for another time. Today, I am pretty happy. Time to clean up this mess.